The focus of today's show is Tesla Semi delayed as many as 2 years, if not 3, and why that's the case. This is Greg for Teslafaninsight. Thanks once again for joining us. If this is your first time, welcome. If you're a repeat visitor, welcome back. So we're in a mode right now where we're doing kind of a everyday show into S&P entry. And so in our latest installment, we're targeting what's going on with the Semi. But prior to that, we wanted to review where we are when it comes to sort of trading in Tesla stock, as well as what's going on with the marketplace for now. So as you can see, we're pre-market right now. We're 2 days from Thanksgiving. And as you can see, the stock price is doing great. And we're thrilled to see this. We also wanted to note that the current circumstance is that, or we want to thank our Patreon supporters as well as our subscribers. If you enjoy the show, please take time to like and subscribe. So for those of you who are not doing Patreon, we've made some great calls on where Tesla stock price is going. We have an everyday show specifically focused on trading, sort of stock direction, and what we anticipate to occur. So I wanted to review this with you because right now we're pre-market and we're up close to 521. It's about 545 right now. And Tesla looks like it's going to have a nice day as well. The driver for all this is just the fact that we actually have the S&P coming up. And our estimation of things is that the money managers who had to get a hold of these shares had 3 choices. Choice number 1, wait until dust settled on the S&P news. Choice number 2, perhaps wait midpoint, see if things are better in terms of prices. And choice number 3, wait till the last minute, which is probably not a good choice given that the prices are going to be at their apex prior to the entry at that point. So what we're seeing now is a large number of managers who have to be in the stock are now pushing in, and that increased demand is obviously pushing prices up, even when the market has sudden sort of slight dips in what's going on. So I think everything is looking pretty good, actually. So we expect if you're making good money on it thus far, particularly if you're doing options and seeing those big jumps, that that 600 target I really think is in range. And the real question mark here is, will Tesla enter warp 9 zone, which is, one of the famous lines about the markets is that things actually operate by fear or greed. So there's this money being made and the stock is moving 30, 40 points a day. But the question that comes up is, will it do that 100-point jump? And then if you get that jump, there are a number of people who are concerned about, they were hoping to wait it out and not really seeing the opportunities that usually pop up for Tesla where the stock will pull back and it's a good time to buy. So this is a very interesting mode, and we're seeing some very interesting movements of the stock, which are resulting in large amounts of gains for those of you who have the courage to go ahead and dip your toe in the water. So congratulations. At this point, we also wanted to review the fact that this week is an unusual trading week. There's no trading on Thursday, and it's a half day of trading on Friday. So a lot of the pin activities you might see on Friday are going to start on Wednesday, which is tomorrow. So this will be interesting to see if the strength of the S&P entry and the movement of the stock price up can supersede the ability of market makers to bring the stock price down. So we'll be updating you on what the ratios are. But I know for the end of the week, there are a lot more call options on the upside of Tesla than there are on the downside. And so I think that a pin below 550 is probably going to happen. But if the stock is at 600, obviously that's kind of out of consideration. We'll see what happens, but it's lucrative and exciting, and I hope you're able to participate in it. So the next thing that we wanted to dive into, despite having a little bit of challenges here with different items, is what's going on with our friend Mr. Semi. Now, we did a story a couple of weeks ago in terms of Semi update to just suggest that, well, wait a second, it looks like the thing may not work based on the fact that the factory isn't being built yet to actually build the truck. And so we did a kind of an interview with one of our show advisors from MIT, and he was like, no, the truck actually works. It's legitimate. The problem that they're having is that Elon is actually building the Cybertruck factory. He's obviously expanding China. He's also building in Germany, and they have the battery factory going. So the problem they have is if they're going to maintain profitability, there's only a limited amount of cash, if they don't raise more money, that they have to implement all of the activities the company is currently doing. I'd have to say I'm a little bit surprised at the Cybertruck being put ahead of the Semi, because there's so many Semi customers that put up a lot of money. And when Elon announces next year, it'll be delayed by another year, and then delayed after that by another year. I don't know. Obviously, I don't think they'll be thrilled about the news, but they kind of have no choice. But this also explains why hydrogen has now come in, and Nikola is doing well as a result of people saying, hey, if Elon isn't going to actually put the truck out, we have to figure out plan B to meet the goals that we have for emissions. And trucking is actually a more difficult business to manage than one-off from consumers. The problem with trucking is that you have a situation where usually fleets cycle out over a 10-year period. So it's not like just go buy the truck, we're done. There's actually a lot of infrastructure to be installed, and then a process for bringing in on an annual basis new vehicles to cycle your fleet out as it comes off the lease. So I'm a little disappointed, but the answer that we came up with the help of our show advisor was that, yes, Tesla stock price is high, and theoretically they could issue more shares, which would facilitate more resources for the company to keep growing. But the management team / production team is stretched thin right now in the process of executing it. The other note that we've been making is if you read Tesla, sort of what they'll reveal at all of their factories, there was an open question that's lurked for Tesla, for me, for the last, let's say, 4 years. There's a company in Germany called Grohmann Engineering. Elon Musk purchased the company and systematically fired all the customers that they had, who were mostly the big German OEMs, but other firms as well. Grohmann specializes in automating factory lines. And so it created a rift. The former owner of the firm was mad that Tesla shut down business from others. Elon had to make special concessions to the employees there who wanted to quit because they felt that the manner in which the company was behaving was inconsistent with how they'd worked with long-standing customers. And so they were thinking, if Tesla went under, there's a chance they would all lose their jobs. So there were special concessions made to that group of employees. And the question that was lurking is, wait a second, these guys specialize in getting new factories up. If Tesla's going to have 1 or 2 factories going up every couple of years, why do you want to have folks that are this good at automating assembly lines on a full-time basis for such a limited use? And so the answer that's sort of cycling back here is obviously, notice all the facilities being built by Tesla, and they still have a number of more to be built. I think particularly in China, they have 1 or 2 more to go to get to the vehicle counts they need, to fit the growth goals that the company has. So one answer was, yeah, they're adding a lot of factories, and therefore they need to have Grohmann. The second issue that comes up is, if you also notice, every factory that Tesla has, battery, be it battery or whatever, Elon is going in with time and motion studies to try to figure out how to increase throughput for those facilities. So there's a way in which those factories are changing by 20, 30% every 6 months. So it's like you're building a new factory within the old factory on a regular basis, is one of the strategies that Elon has been using on cars, but he's also using it on the factory. And so you're burning a lot of cost to get this done, but you can validate the cost based on better throughput and the value that adds to the company. I'm kind of surprised by this because a lot of people would trend, or a lot of companies trend towards building and maintaining one factory and then building another one next door at another location if they want to add capacity and upgrade the new facility. And so this is a very strange situation right now to see what Elon is doing, because it does burn a lot of cash and it's disruptive to the current operations if you're redoing what they're up to. So I kind of bring all these up to just suggest that right now there's an interesting problem. According to information we read, there's been no factory in the United States built in under 2 years in the last 50 years. So even if Elon shaved 6 months or a few months off of that, let's say with the new Cybertruck factory or any other plant he's building, it would still put a year and a half out from when you start, when vehicles might come off that line. And so I bring this up currently because Elon is not a retrofit a building and work with it type of guy unless it's the Fremont plant. And so the problem that comes up is that if any time he announces and starts the construction of the factory that'll build the semi-truck, once he starts that, we're 2 years away. So as you'll notice, he hasn't started it yet. And therefore, if we talk about him starting at the middle of the summer, that's still 2 years away from then before you could have trucks coming off that line. So that's what's going on with the Cybertruck right now. It's in use by the factory to deliver vehicles and other things. So they're continuing to upgrade the technology. But the problem is, it just looks like the technology won't see the streets for another 2, maybe 3 years, which I think is very unfortunate. And we're hopeful that there's some miracle where money could be found or something like that to help facilitate the implementation of that vehicle. So, any rate, no Cybertruck for a long, or no semi-truck for a long time, unfortunately, for the reasons just stated. So finally, I want to say congratulations to all of you who are making money as the stock rises. We expect it to have a nice sort of blowout run and then sort of pull back a little bit over the next, let's say, week, 10 days. And I hope you're able to get in on it. Don't forget, we have on our Patreon page, we're focused on ideas to help you trade better on this and anticipate what's going to happen for the day. Also wanted to say congratulations to Mr. Biden. Now that we're starting the transition process, we could see a bump in Tesla stock price as a result, and the market in general turning around as a result of this change. And well done on Mr. Trump's part in embracing a reality in this fashion. The next thing we want to review is our usual health tips. Don't forget, no more than try to eat and not go to bed within 2 hours of eating, best case 4 hours. Also wanted to encourage you to consider 5-2 or some other fasting diet as a mental health move as you age. Also wanted to encourage you on no more than once a week fried foods, also good for your health. Wanted to also encourage you to consider 25 leg lifts per leg, ensuring that your quad muscles are strengthened and it locks your knees in, less chance of operations, etc. And we also want to remind you on your lovemaking, a salad is a good idea prior because it minimizes the amount of blood flow to the food to digest versus to other areas of the body that could help facilitate better lovemaking, as another recommendation from our sort of doctor crew, and might be worth considering as well. At any rate, this is Greg for Teslafaninsight. Tschüss German, au revoir French, Lehitro, Hebrew, Khoda Hafiz, Farsi, Namaste, Hindi, Zdravstvuyte, Russian, hello, Ohayo gozaimasu, Japanese, Do Virginia, Polish, and Hejdo, Swedish. Thanks once again for joining us. Have a great day. Bye for now. We very much look forward to your comments, especially those that are constructive, and your input would be greatly appreciated. Please remember to like us and subscribe. Again, this is Greg for Teslafaninsight. Have a great day, and bye for now.